We'll find a way. We'll find a way.
All right, we're going to workshop it, all right? And we have some new addition to the drums here, by the way. There's a whole new band in here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second series of the day. We're going to battle it out between two teams on redemption arcs of their own, TNC and MINANA EVOS.
Okay, so nothing too crazy. It's going to be a double XP start, actually. This is going to be Goyo getting some XP from the XP lane.
Yeah. And you know what? What's always the benefit of having a double mage setup is that it is how to say this? There's a lot of poke, which you kind of benefit when it comes to like poke kind of engagements or like long team fights. But it also has a lot of burst damage in their level 4 like power spike. If they play this correctly, it will be great.
Yeah.
And all I can say is that it was enchanting to meet two mages.
I thought you were going to say enchanting to meet you for some reason. But, you know, not only that, too, but I also want to take note, TNC having these two double purifies, they're probably going to need it, especially with what is available to MINANA EVOS in their tool department right now. The other thing, too, is we relatively haven't seen too much of Thamus. So how does this line up against an X-Borg? A pick that has been coming to light now lately, you know, Wolf, and really working around that. Is that a good matchup?
Honestly, it's not, right? You know, we said that maybe Uranus or X-Borg can be used against Thams because that's the idea. You kind of just mirror what the Thams is doing. And Thams, between like Uranus and X-Borg, it's probably like the least that you will pick up. You don't even like prioritize maybe an Esmeralda, although Thamus is the only hero along those lines or that can immediately eliminate Esmeralda. But all I'm trying to say is it's difficult.
Oh, and it's difficult right now for King Kong. He's going to get caught out, but it's going to be Brusco punished. First blood there by MINANA. It's going to be 1-for-1 trade. Are they going to get any more? King Kong falls. Not good news for TNC, as that's going to be looking like a free turtle for MINANA EVOS early on.
Yeah, easy turtle to take unless TNC does something.
Will they be able to do something? Going already using the feathered airstrike, and that is going to go to MINANA EVOS, and another kill for MINANA EVOS as Hesu falls. Lord JM already has the ultimate up, going to be going after bad things. Here comes King Kong with the knock up, the taunt, and Lord JM may have bitten off more than he could chew, but the vengeance is up. He's holding on, and he dodges and jumps the smack. Lord JM shows his Lord TP side early on.
Woo. Okay, which team is going to TP more in the series? I think that's number one, right? So you know they're both flashy, but what an exchange here, Wolf.
Oh, definitely. And you would thought that maybe TNC has already gotten the first few minutes of the game, especially with that pickoff. But the fact that Fredrin was the one taken out, King Kong taken out, with Boyet now having one kill and then take on the Lord. By the way, he went for the Quantum Charge instead of the typical killing spree we see from Martis players.
Right of there.
Artillery Mage.
All right.
Oh, and Ben thinks Dire Straits, boy, gonna be going after him. Decimation onto Ben thinks. There's a tip for you, Innocent. You're up next. That's a 2K for Bad Boy Boyet.
Woo! And we were just talking about the keys to victory, right, for MINANA? Don't let Bad Boy Boyet be Bad Boy Boyet, but now he's got 3 kills and 1 assist and a turtle to boot. Almost a 2,000 gold lead for MINANA.
Man, is it? Nothing could fit more perfect. You know, when you have a key to victory, Bad Boy Boyet, he's playing Marcus, who's probably a pretty bad boy in the land of Dawn. You know, the way he looks, the way he moves. And right now, you got to be wondering, TNC, man, that is not how you want to start.
Oh, double stun! Curse of Crow, and that's the feathered airstrike. And this is one thing I wanted to mention about TNC. If they don't play this carefully and don't pick their fights, they're going to experience what they experienced against AP Bren, and that's an early game Martis as Innocent is going to be next up on the docket, but Ben thinks with a kick. Brusca AR is going to miss it, but still, the burst, the damage, and is it? It is not another 2K, but it is a 2K for MINANA EVOS. Boyet was like, you know what, Domang, I think you need one more too, but here in the turtle, King Kong will get it. That was the trade called by MINANA.
At least a trade for TNC. And now MINANA is still leading by a lot. And this is really good for the Martis because you know that the Martis really prioritizes getting the snowball off. But the fact that Innocent is down 2 deaths is something that TNC is not happy about. The Bruno being taken out in the early stages, not a good sign.
You know what's scary, too, is the fact that every time I feel like, well, I don't want to say every time, most of the time that we see a Martis get this many kills early on, it usually spells for disaster, right?
Yep.
Because he just snowballs so hard. And really, with the way that the Decimate works, you put pressure now. Now that you have this kind of lead, you can just full on basically go hardball mode in any lane you want to.
Yeah, it's going to be a mirror strat. TNC are looking at Lord JM's lane. Can they take the Tamas out? Yes, they can. So they'll be able to take the tower down, and that's exactly what they needed to do to sort of just equalize a little bit what MINANA EVOS has been doing. They're still in the lead, but TNC got something really good for them.
King Kong, okay, he's got the information he needs. Once again,
Nope.
it's a full-on battle here for space to work around with, right? The third turtle will be up in about 40 seconds here. And, you know, with this lead that MINANA EVOS has garnered themselves this early on, they should be able to take that third turtle pretty easily if they actually full-on commit to it.
Oh, wow. Feather Dash right, King Kong there with the taunt, stopping Goyong, but Bentings can't get close. The smack from King Kong, it's not gonna land or be effective, really. And Goyong, man, he's been controlling this game with how he hasn't been shy with using the Feather Dash Strike in mid, and that's what's controlled the tempo for MINANA EVOS.
Yeah, you know, we were talking about like the the weird matchup between Goyo and Goyong, but now you can see that Goyong, in fact, is having a lot more impact because of how he's taking advantage of that last pick to Farsa that allowed MINANA EVOS to have more vision as well as more control of small territories. It's like MINANA EVOS are getting more real estate compared to TNC just because of the Feather Dash Strike.
Yeah, it seems like that Goyong, like, every time he has the opportunity, he's going to Feather Airstrike, right? Yeah. He's not worried about hesitating on using it, and this has garnered themselves a pretty good control of the early game. That's now that last turtle that's going to be secured for them. They've gotten themselves two. They still maintain about that 3K gold lead.
Bentings found a kick. King Kong with the taunt. Is the combo going to be enough? Yes, it is. Is TNC happy with it? Yes, they are. MINANA EVOS lose one.
Wow, was that Kyrie?
Wow. Yeah, that was.
Kyrie playing the Rome Cho.
Yeah.
Good pick off for Ben Things, right?
Yep.
Yeah. He literally has two. He has all the kills for TNC.
Oh, yeah.
But,
you're right.
You know, as this kind of game progresses, those kicks will be more important. Hopefully leading into Innocent getting some of the scaling that he needs because he had a pretty rough early game so far. As you can see, they're still going to go ahead and focus on these turrets if they can. Ben Things now here, though. Gonna get spotted out.
Oh, they're not gonna be committing anything. Oh, Bentings forced to use the flicker. Here comes Boyet. Conceal just to get on out of there. TNC, are they gonna try to get something out of this? Nope. MINANA EVOS also back off just a little bit.
Yeah. And those kicks coming up from Bentings that we were talking about is going to be playing a very important role later on because it is the only way for them to kind of displace Doming. And fortunately for TNC, Doming's just rocking the flicker, did not go for the tough boots, so that means that it will be much harder to kind of dodge the Way of the Dragon with the flicker.
Yep.
And if Bentings is going to be having a good initiation, he will be able to isolate Doming away from the team.
Yeah, what surprises me is that despite everything that has gone right for MINANA EVOS, it's only still a 2.5K gold lead, more than comebackable for TNC Pro Team. They just need to really find that one nice kick, one nice pick off, but then they also just need to watch out for 3 big game ultimates. The ultimate of the Kadita, the Martis, and the Farsa.
What's crazier to me is the fact that Innocent, despite dying twice in the early game, if you saw a look at the gold there, he's actually tied or nearly there with Domeng. So, and the fact that, again, he only needs really 2 items, which he has now, he's actually going to have the confidence to probably fight some of these skirmishes, some of these team fights now, you know, as we lead into this first Lord. So that's why you see him pretty much hanging out with the rest of the team for the most part. He knows that he's able to provide the damage they need. If they can turn some of these skirmishes, some of these team fights in their favor, then great. But still, at this point, they really have to rely on Ben Things to find the setups he's looking for. See Fredrin's so good at. And right across from him is the constant rival of the Smartiz as they work around it. Remember the lead that they have for now. Can they utilize it?
Let's see him play a little bit of info. Double knock up by Ben thinks he's going to get a kick, but no, he's going to get canceled, and that's the Lord going to MINANA EVOS. Secured by Bad Boy Boyet, but here comes TNC with a last insanity, and is it going to be a first big one? No, it's going to be not that effective. TNC Pro Team, they don't lose one, but they lose the Lord, but they're in the right position to continue pressuring MINANA EVOS, especially here in the mid lane. Sent them back, and let's see if MINANA EVOS can get anything out of this Lord because they lost a lot of health.
And the unsung hero of that Lord dance definitely is Lord JMAR. This is only his 2nd series, playing in MPL. he popped the Vengeance at the right moment when the last Insanity was therefore should have been a counter engage coming out from TNC. Because of that Vengeance, most of the damage was nullified. In fact, TNC couldn't advance even when the members of MINANA EVOS are low, just because of the Thams tanking through all of the important damage sources.
What's crazy too is that, like you mentioned, he's relatively new. Hold on, mid lane.
Feather Dash Strike, Goyo get it cut out! Brusco from the back gets the ultimate off, and Goyo is down. 5v4, big name ultimates from MINANA EVOS gone, so they're not going to push the envelope under the turret. They're going to push things out with the Lord.
Okay, Lord will be probably worked on quite quickly, but still MINANA able to get what they need for the most part. As they put their sights on this tier 2, if they can get it, just trying to get some space to work around with. Going back to it, you know, Lord JM, man, he is playing crazy good for the fact that he's relatively new to these MPL here. And the fact that, like Wolf said, a well-timed Vengeance can turn the tide of a lot of those fights.
Yeah, and I just have to say I'm not surprised. Lord JM impressed me during the Snapdragon Pro series, especially during the challenge season.
Yep.
He was great for Archives then, who, by the way, are the new members of MINANA EVOS now.
Exactly.
Hence the AR.
Hence the AR, yeah.
That's right.
Oh, yeah, thank you that you brought that up.
Yeah,
The AR means Archives.
Because some people are probably like, what's the AR,
What's the
man?
AR?
Yeah, they're not pirates. They're not pirate inspired.
Okay.
But I wish they were.
To be fair, when I first read their names and I didn't know exactly 100%, I was like, man, boy at R.
And by the way, this guy in the middle of us, Naisu, knows this because it's also part of Archives. Repped AR.
Repped AR. And, you know, here's showing how long we've been playing. Remember when there used to be a ghost pirate in the Land of Dawn?
Ah, yeah, the old Bane skin.
The old Bane.
Yeah.
That's right.
He was a ghost pirate, R.
He was. He was.
I didn't expect you to drop the R there, brother. That's surprising. Look at the members right now of TNC Pro Team. Ben Things, of course, the Capitan himself, barking orders at the members of TNC what to say.
MINANA EVOS decided to just show one hero, and all of them are going to be waiting around the Lord. Probably way too early, but because they have the advantage of the minion wave, they know that they can easily take over this Lord. And again, Lord tends for here in the Philippines, you gotta think maybe 30 seconds, even a minute advance before the Lord actually spawns.
Yeah, I feel like, again, when you, especially with today alone, like you see some of the best Lord Dance controls here from the teams in the Philippines, obviously. Some have mastered it more than others, but some love to just duke it out like this, too. Putting the pressure.
Ooh.
Wow, they already get the Froggo armor out.
Yeah, massive.
From Hesu.
What a play there by Domeng. A small little sequence with a big consequence for TNC Pro Team, but that means Hesu just needs to go back to have more than enough time to come back.
Okay, so we're back to it, right? Still similar things. Everybody pretty much has all the ultimates they need for this fight. It'll ultimately come down who presses the go first. Conceal going to be used here. Ben Things is the person to keep an eye on because he will most likely be the one, obviously, looking for that entrance, for the kick, utilizing the flicker the way of the dragon. Lord Jam also getting a position.
Hey, yeah, and that's a really good position, by the way.
For sure. And watch out for the minion wave up top. This is why MINANA just reset this.
Yeah.
Because they know they have the advantage. TNC has to answer top.
Unless somehow King Kong gets
Watch
a
out,
monkey
Brusco.
business down. Brusco, Petrify, Burst, combo, not enough. But let's see if he can hold on. That's going to be best thing going down. King Kong is going to fall. MINANA EVOS take one. Are they going to be able to chase the other members of TNC Pro Team? Lord J and pops the Vengeance and the ultimate and sent TNC back. But they're close enough. If somehow Hesu can, he gets stunned. Froggo armor will be gone, and there goes their chances of contesting for that Lord.
Beautiful Lord dance coming out from MINANA EVOS. We're talking about like what are the elements of this dance? What are the steps that you have to have when dancing? You have to first look at the minion wave. If you have the advantage, like what MINANA had, top lane and bottom lane, they know that they can easily bait out the Lord. They can reset the Lord so that the entirety of TNC will have to back down. Or maybe not the entirety, but one less member doing a Lord dance means a 4v5 scenario that you wouldn't be having a good shot. Next is, where is the jungler of the enemy? You have to identify it. If you have a stun, if you have a solid lockdown, you can take him out easily. And that's exactly what Brusco AR did.
Man, right now, MINANA EVOS just completely in control. You know, at this point, they've only lost the one turret. They might, it might look like TNC has some fight in them, but really, even when they find a pick off they're looking for, we really haven't been you know, you haven't been able to see them shine, right? Even with this Bruno pick who has performed so
About
well
this game number 3.
up to this point. Now
The
they gotta go
lineups
on
here.
defense. Lord,
So I know you guys are guessing as well. We're jumping right into the game here to find out who will win this series between AP Bren and RSG Philippines.
Falls and the time is running out for TNC. The window gets ever smaller as MINANA EVOS. There goes the feathered airstrike just to send members back. It looks like they're not going to be getting any more out of this, but they don't want to let go. They want to keep holding on and trying to force TNC to do something there. Are they going to make a call? No, they won't. Ben thinks, ooh, off angle. Couldn't find the right one to kick it back.
Yeah, again, he didn't have the flicker available. Unfortunately, he is going to have it in just a second here. So, still trying to hold on to this bottom turret.
S2 with the last insanity. Poor JM gets poked, but gets brought back. That was a slow and methodical dismantling, but TNC held on to 2 more of their turrets.
I have to remember, MINANA, when they went up against Omega in the first series, they already had the game in them, but it was taken away from them. And now, MINANA EVO smartly just recognized that they didn't overly extend. They did not go for any risky plays.
Oh, no, that's risky. Oh, that's a burst. Oh, and that's a pickoff. There goes the Capitan. That is not good news for TNC Pro Team.
And look at the minion waves. They have it. Man, MINANA EVOS. The night is sparkling. Just don't let it go.
Yeah, we've seen that before, right? We've seen literally just in this week alone, teams with massive leads let it slip through their hands. So they've got to not get too overconfident. They've got to take this the discipline route, focusing on this turret.
Oh, Goyo. Oh, that's massive. Innocent. Gets sent back. Turret falls. TNC Pro Team, they have 1 left. But MINANA EVO is still respecting a potential here by TNC to make a comeback. They are taking it slow. The Lord is up, and the game is still ours.
Wow. Discipline coming out from MINANA. Just like we said earlier, when they lost against Omega, the first game was already theirs. All they have to do is to finish out, close it out. And with all due fairness for TNC, they have so many tools to defend their base. They have the Valentina that can copy the Farsa, needed. And of course, you have the wave clear coming out from Hesu. These ingredients are going to be important for the defense. And MINANA, now they're going to be dancing once again.
A cha-cha, a samba. That is a dance. Yes, it is. Salsa.
Oh.
Not the sauce, but there's a sauce coming in from Tesu with the last insanity flicker. Finding Goyong. That is an advantage. And that is the window of hope opened for TNC. MINANA EVOS, they're still holding on though. They don't want to let go of the position they have.
Okay, we're back to it. They're down 1 member, which is actually, with Goyong gone, they lose a lot of that magic burst damage. They still have Brusco though, so they can still utilize this, and that is going to be the threat there. TNC knows this as they carefully approach this next Lord fight. Still putting pressure there in the mid lane. They wanted to get that tier 1 down. They get it.
Oh, they're going to be going after Boyet. The Jugger from MINANA EVOS gets past the wall. The Lord is low. Boyet too far, and it goes to TNC. Just like that. 1 pick, 1 Lord. Game has turned.
Oh, look at Hesu. My God, he made the play that saved TNC. And why is that? For the longest time, MINANA EVOS have been controlling the territories, the small territories, the real estate that we're talking about, just because of 1 hero, and that is the Farsa, the real counter to the export. But with what Hesu saw, they poked Goyong, they found it, and even after the Purify, they have the Flicker and the last Insanity that will be enough to take out the Farsa. Well done, Hesu, and now TNC, now they have the momentum.
Real
With that
estate
momentum.
gone.
Real estate. The real estate is something that both teams are still battling for. Again, it was tough for TNC to get to this point, but with that securing the Lord here, getting that insurance policy of their own, they're going to be working now to knock on the base of MINANA. Look at the placements and positioning, though, especially for Brusco. He's going to try to spot someone out if he can, but leaves the team here to defend.
There's a fishy, smelly smell, and that is in the form of a Kadita coming from behind. He finds it and said, no, he won't! Already forced to use the ultimate, cock, and he gets the top, the knockup, yes, he does! Last Insanity just waiting for it. Brusco holding on for D-Life, but he loses it. Ben thinks 1 kick will change it. 1 kick, last Insanity by Hesu! Pops it off onto JM, vengeance was up, not gonna be able to land the kill. He's holding on for D-Life, Lifesteal holding on, TNC still in the lead.
Okay. They got all the turrets down.
Oh,
Can they end it?
Ben thinks he might have just done that with a find onto Domeng. The marksman of MINANA EVOS has escaped. He has escaped with the help of Boyet, but JM will not. He falls. Boyet falls as well. Goyong and Doming left to defend. Doming gets taunted. Bruno is gone. Turn around. Wipeout. Complete. TNC Pro Team. They will get game number 1.
This winning moment is brought to you by our official sponsor, FWD Life Insurance. And before all that unfolded, like I was saying, man, we've seen teams with massive